Hello, my name is Michelle Adams. Thank you for watching. You're either watching this on my YouTube channel or IG stories. Either way, thank you. Now, if you can do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, you can be here for many, many story times. I've lived an interesting life, even though I'm young, so that can only tell you where this is gonna go, where this is headed. I'm a hot mess. There's bound to be more stories. A hot mess will always give you a good story. Anyway, with that being said, today's story is about, well, it's a Lyft driver chronicle. Like, it's an interesting story, so if you want to hear, please keep watching. So, on this particular day, I was not going to work. There was no need for it. I had money in my pocket, my bills were paid, my kids were fed, we were chilling. So I was taking the day off. But then around the evening time, randomly I grab my phone and I go on the app and I decide to turn it on. Mind you, I'm still in my house. Why am I turning on the app? Whatever. So by the time I get up and walk over to my shoes to put them on, I already have a request for a ride. And I should tell you, there's no particular reason I got on. It wasn't high demand that day. It was very low. I don't know why. Something in my head was just telling me, you need to get on this app. So I got on the app. Like I was saying, I walked to the door to put my shoes on. By the time I had my shoes on, I had already gotten a ride request. I see that it's about 26 to 30 minutes away. I accept it because I was going to accept it anyway. So these people actually lived across the street from me. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. I pick up these people. They didn't say one word to me. Not one word. They talked to each other. Didn't talk to me at all. They actually did that thing where you try to do small talk. So it'd be like, oh, hi, you guys are headed out, where are you going? And they were just giving me short answers. So I took this as they didn't want to talk to me. So I shut up. And then I ended up dropping these people off at the airport. Well, the thing with the airport is there's a terminal for the Lyft drivers to sit and wait for people to request rides there. But sometimes if you're dropping people off, you'll skip the queue and you'll get a ride right then and there. And it's usually shared rides that will skip the queue. But this time it wasn't a share ride. It was a singular ride. And so it was weird. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll take this ride because it's 2 rides back to back. I'm like, okay, cool. So I accept his request. I go pick him up at wherever he is at the airport, and we start driving, and I do the same little small talk thing I do with everybody that gets in my car. It's like, hi, how are you? How's it going? And he goes, oh, I'm good, just on my way home. And I was like, oh, yeah, was it business or personal, vacation? He goes, oh, I was visiting my dad. And I'm like, oh, cool. I was like, well, how is he? And then he goes, well, not good. He was just diagnosed with cancer. And, of course, automatically I go, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. This is probably where I'm a little pushy, but, you should always just be yourself. And so I was like, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of cancer? And he goes, no, it's fine. It was lymph node cancer. Now I'm taken aback because my mom passed away of lymph node cancer. She had a tumor in her lung and she had lymph node cancer. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can personally... Oh, he gets awkward. He gets awkward when I say I'm sorry. And I saw it because I'm looking at him in the rearview mirror and driving. So I look up and I can see in his face that, like, he's, like, really numb. He's really numb, and he's, like, not fully, like, dealt with it yet, you can kind of tell. And so I say to him, like, I don't even know why I said that. I used to get so offended when people would tell me that. And he's like, what? And anyway, so he looks at me like, huh? Like he doesn't understand. So I explained to him, well, my mom passed away from the same thing. And people would always be like, I'm so sorry for your loss. And automatically I would just think, why are you sorry? You didn't shove the cigarette in her mouth. You didn't make these lifestyle choices she made. Like, why are you sorry? She did this to herself. But that was me processing and coping. We all have our own coping mechanisms, you know. And he goes, that's how I feel. I feel like, why are you apologizing? You didn't kill him. And I was like, totally get that. And so we just start talking. And he starts telling me more. He's the youngest of 3 children. He has 2 older sisters. And his mom and his sisters didn't take it that well. And so he was, like, had to be, like, the solid one. Like, everyone was supporting. And I was like, oh, I can relate to that too. It was, like, when my brother passed away when I was 10. Like, no one could cope with it. Okay. Well, when my brother passed away when I was 10, my mom didn't take it that well. So, like, I had to be the strong one. And it started manifesting itself in dreams. But then I go, but when my mom died, I was just numb and in shock. And I didn't process it for, like, 2 months later. And then I ended up missing a bunch of work. And he goes, yeah, that's what I'm scared about, because I already missed a bunch of work to take off for when he got sick. And then after he passed and planned his funeral, he's like, I haven't been to work in eight weeks. And he goes, I have to go back, otherwise I'm risking my job. And I was like, man, that's horrible, because no one should put a time limit on when or how you grieve. It's like, you weren't even taking this time off to grieve. You were taking this time off to plan the funeral. Like, that's not fair. But then at the same time, is it fair to the employer? I mean, that's a different argument. But I digress. So, we're sitting there, we're talking. And for some reason, these are not the most comforting words, and I don't know why I chose to say this to him. But our time together was almost up. I was about to drop him off, and I just felt very strongly I needed to say this. And I tell him, you know, it never gets easier. Never gets easier. What happens is you just become numb to them being gone. And so life moves on. And you go through the motions and you have genuine happy times. But sometimes that moment of happiness is ruined because you wish you could share it with your loved one that passed. And he looks at me and he, like, cracks a smile. And he goes, you know, that's the most comforting thing anyone has ever said to me. He goes, everyone keeps telling me that it's going to get better in time, that time heals all wounds. And I kind of cut him off and I was like, no, that's bullshit. Time does not heal all wounds. Time will give you scars. Time will make you wiser to the situation. But those wounds and that pain is always there, and it never gets easier. It never goes away. You still miss that person. You still wish they were there for these moments. And sure, if you're a spiritual person, you believe they are there for the moments. But, yeah. Anyway, I dropped the guy off at his house, and he says thank you. And we kind of both realized at that moment that the universe well, he said God, I say the universe, that the universe or God put us together because I was in a position where I could comfort him. And it's crazy. I will probably never see this guy again in my life. But just knowing that I was able to help him randomly on a whim was pretty cool. And I am very thankful for that opportunity. And I hope, really, really hope I get to help more people along the way. Okay. Thanks for watching this, guys. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah. Help a girl out. This is what I want to do for a living. Okay.